a creature of your choice through a theoretical force of will.
My preference would be Sire of Insanity.
Yeah, it's really good against Reanimator because they need cards in their hand, and it's the first turn. I mean, you can always get a Gristlebrand and try to do double dip. But Gristlebrand and Sire of Insanity don't play the best together, so... You know.
That's just great analysis by you.
You know.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. Part of the reason this card costs 6 or 7 is because it's really good on turn 1. And Odzana's deck is really good at making this enter the battlefield on the first turn.
That's game. At the beginning of each end step, each player discards their hand. That is game.
We might actually have a match where no lands are played.
Yes.
Okay.
I like playing it out. Discard your card. Thank you. Dark Petition to the graveyard. 6. Discard my Thoughtseize. Draw.
Yeah, Thoughtseize not great with Sire of Insanity.
Discard your card. Discard your card. Thank you. Draw. 6. I like playing it out. Discard your... Oh, nice.
Big draw.
Discard your card. Thanks. Draw. 6.
Now I think it's safe to concede.
You think so? You think now that the opponent's at 2, you think it's okay? Ooh, maybe thinking about casting the Entomb here. I would think long and hard about this irrelevant decision.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Draw. Discard your card. We're done.
Oh, okay. Now I'm beat.
Yeah. We're done. Devin Odzana. Going to win game number 1 here over Delray Canfield. Black-Red Reanimator. That's quite the Cracker Jack.
As Richard Garfield drew it up.
That's how I'd play it. Let's take a look at Canfield's sideboard. 2 Echoing Truths, 2 Chain of Vapors, 2 Hurkyl's Recall, 2 Fatal Push, 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 Chrome Mox, along with a Duress, an Empty the Warrens, and a Tendrils of Agony.
I really like the Duress in this matchup. I bring in the Chrome Moxes too, just everything that's a priority on speed, a little bit of the bounce spells, and I would also bring in the Empty the Warrens. I think part of the range here is Delray can, if the Empty the Warrens happens to be in his opening hand, being able to just go first turn, make 8 or 10 goblins might be good enough. Worth considering.
For Devin, 3 Pack Rats, 3 Stronghold Gambit. Do you know what that is?
I think that Stronghold Gambit, I believe it is from Nemesis.
Correct.
3 mana red card.
Incorrect.
I thought that it was basically a show and tell, but you got to bid and the winner gets to do it.
That is correct. I believe it only costs 2 mana.
I thought it was RR1.
Stronghold Gambit. We'll take a look. He's also got 3 Reverend Silence, 2 Ancient Grudge, 2 Duress, an Iona Shield of Emeria, and an Archetype of Endurance.
I think the Iona's a pretty reasonable reanimation target here. Duresses are fine. I don't know how much wiggle room he really has. I guess there's some reanimation targets in here that are just no good. So cut a little bit that way.
Nice. Okay. Let's talk IQs real quick, then we'll talk Stronghold Gambit. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Invitational qualifiers. Let's talk about them, because it's the place where you can get some Patrick Sullivan tokens if you'd like. We got exclusive prizes, including $1,000 to the top 8. Invitational qualifications. It means you can qualify for the Invitational in Season 2 at the Berglund Center in Roanoke, Virginia. SCG Tour points, top 8 playmats, top 8 pins, registration tokens, and as I mentioned, awesome Patrick Sullivan and Matthias Hunt tokens. Boom, baby. Legendary Dagron.
Mm-hmm. And some creative license that's been pointed out to me over time. The background there, the mountain definitely inspired by Doug Schuler's mountain, first appearing in beta and then eventually in Arabian Nights. And I'm wielding a scimitar because Arabian Nights expansion logo.
Look at you, putting all the pieces together.
Other people pointed this out to me.
Go. That's StarCityGames.com/IQ for more information. Start your journey here on the SCG Tour, as now we turn our attention to our match and Stronghold Gambit, which I'm almost sure it's colorless red. Now, I'm probably wrong, because I'm wrong a lot, especially about old cards.
I could have sworn 2 red mana symbols, but I'm not. I wouldn't bet on it. Yeah, you got it.
Bang.
Way to go.
Each player chooses a card in his or her hand. Then each player reveals his or her chosen card. The owner of the creature card revealed this way with the lowest converted mana cost puts that card into play. If 2 or more creature cards are tied for the lowest cost, those cards are put into play.
This seems like a really good matchup for this card because Canfield does not have any creatures.
Doesn't have a card to put in.
Right.
I get it. So it's like a weird red show and tell, kind of.
Right. So it's a way of I think the 2 primary goals of this card is, one, in matchups where it's just a free roll, it's 2 mana show and tell.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
And then post board, you're expecting your graveyard to be under attack, and this is a way of being able to put something onto the battlefield that doesn't involve using your graveyard.
I like it. Quick update there on the scoreboard. Thomas Berry, red-black aggro up a game there over Brandon Dempsey playing mono-green aggro. Our middle match, Grixis Death Shadow and Burn, still battling.
Nemesis had a lot of very unappealing rares.
Thanks.
I was there.
I know you were.
I was there for it.
You were there for all of it, right? That was your prime.
Yeah, that was before I qualified for the Pro Tour the first time. My first Pro Tour PTQ win was Invasion Block Constructed.
Okay.
But my first PTQ that I played was Mass Block Constructed.
I take that.
Stronghold Gambit was not a part of that format. It was not played. So if Adzana is keeping, I assume that means
the game is over.
Turn 1.
What that means is the game is over. Right away.
That was turn 1 through Force of Will if it was there.
Easily. Like it was basically
And he could reanimate a card of his choice. It didn't have to be just whatever random creature he happened to have.
No, yeah. I've never played this Black Red Reanimator deck. I used to only play blue-black, and I love this deck. I love everything this deck is about. You trying to interact? Sorry, dog. Ain't happening.
Twelve lands. 12 lands.
12 lands, 4 Lotus Petals. How many Chrome Mox?
2.
Nice.
4 Chancellor of the Annex. One of the all-time worst.
Yeah, not a great design.
Invisible Seal of Force Spike is
not a great design.
not a great design.
Yeah, not a great design. Dylan Hovey with Grixis Death Shadow, 1 over Justin Bova playing Burn.
I would love to do an all-time 10 worst designs.
We'll take that column. I'll take that column all day.
Okay. Chancellor of the Annex almost certainly makes it. Zur's Weirding. All time terrible design.
What about those banned lands you talked about? Those lands yesterday.
They don't crack the top 10.
Okay.
They don't ruin anyone's time.
Okay.
That's got to be part of it.
Okay. It's got to be some of those weird wonky red cards, right? Like Warp World, whatever.
No.
Those are fine.
I think you're supposed to do less than 1%, but there's an audience for them.
Okay.
And if they're not that powerful, who really cares?
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll take that. I'll take that article.
I'll start working on it.
I'll publish that immediately. I won't even read it. I'll just publish it.
It's a blend of power level and play pattern.
Nice.
Is how you know.
That's perfect.
Zur's Weirding is egregious and not weak.
It's a disaster.
And that's why it's part of the...
That card's a disaster.
It's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable design.
I played a lot of Magic with that card. It's a disaster of a card.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. I've played so many games involving that card over the years. It's so bad. It's modern legal. You know that?
I'm very aware.
They've reprinted it several times.
They've brought it back on occasion.
I think it's in 8th edition.
Polluted Delta will be sacrificed here by Canfield.
And it probably should be in, like, some people's sideboards.
It probably is fine, yeah. Probably fine.
If you played that card against Tron, they would never win. They could never, ever, ever beat it.
Here's a Duress. We're going to see Devin respond maybe with an Entomb here. Yes. Here it is. 4 mana. Players play with their hands revealed. This is in 9th edition, it looks like.
Yeah.
If a player would draw a card, he or she reveals it instead. Then any other player gets 2 life. If a player does, put that card into its owner's graveyard.
Okay, so we play hand up.
Yep.
And anytime someone will draw a card, the other person could go pay 2 and say, no, you don't draw that.
You don't get that. Does that mean they just... So if a player would draw... So like if my draw step, they just brick me on my draw step?
Yeah, you don't get to go again.
I just don't get a new card?
No.
It's not fun at all.
This card is it's like we're not playing Magic anymore. We're playing a different game that is not fun at all.
That's a great card. That's my kind of card. Oh, hello.
Okay.
Stronghold Gambits, plural. Animate Dead, Reanimate. Faithless Looting, Polluted Delta. Well, making a big thing.
Yeah, he's
next turn, regardless of what you think.
Yeah, Delray needs to have Surgical Extraction or he's dead.
Well, it's only a Gristlebrand.
This deck does everything for 0 or 1 mana.
Okay.
You can't let any deck that does a lot of things for 0 or 1 mana, you cannot allow them to draw 14 cards.
Okay, you're probably right. Okay, you've made a solid argument.
I think Canfield does have an extraction, however. So we play on.
All right, there goes Faithless Looting. Let's go back over to Devin. Draw a card. Sacrifice a Polluted Delta.
It looks like Adzana has drawn Exhume. And I think from Canfield's perspective, he can't cut off the Stronghold Gambit because there's 2 copies, and he has to fade Adzana just drawing a creature and putting it on the battlefield. So Faithless Looting is the best card to take there, assuming that you have a way to interact with the graveyard.
Which it appears as though he may. Here's an Animate Dead. Target Gristlebrand.
One of the all-time great templates.
That's not true at all.
Animate Dead.
And there is Surgical Extraction. So Gristlebrand will be exiled from the graveyard, and all other copies will be exiled from deck, presumably. And the hand is Exhume, Reanimate, Stronghold Gambit, Stronghold Gambit. Okay. Might be time to go to the Chancellor.
Reanimate Chancellor.
Oh, yeah. What other all-time bad designs are there? You've mentioned the Chancellor and Zur's Weirding. Is there any other that you have at the top of your list?
Yeah, I would have to, I mean...
How about some of those? Oh, how about some of those Future Sight cards?
Oh, there's plenty there. Future Sight makes up half the list, probably.
The Rumbler.
I think... No, the top 10, it's just... The top 10, there's so much competition.
Force of Savagery.
A contender, probably not.
You can have... is a design like that so bad, having fun with an 8-0?
I think it's just too confusing.
Okay.
Because it looks so appealing. And then the joke is that it's dead to state-based effects. Island Sanctuary is a really bad one.
Okay.
Oh. There's one in Legends, Arboreal, I think it's called.
You know better than me, man. You bring the old school vibes. I bring the new school. That's how this works. We're heading back over to Canfield now, who has a decent enough fan. I see a Cabal Ritual, a Scalding Tarn that's going to enter the battlefield here in just a moment, along with a Lion's Eye Diamond and a Cabal Ritual. So might be able to actually get some work done this turn. Potentially win.
Yeah, Arborea is on there for sure.
Okay, great. We'll talk about that soon.
That one is another. We're not playing Magic anymore. We're playing a game that's not any fun. Okay, so Canfield can look in his hand for a creature. Canfield is having the experience right now of someone opening up a pack of Nemesis for the first time. Well,
it's the Chancellor! The Chancellor. All right, we're going to take a look at Chancellor of the Annex. We're going to take a look at Chancellor of the Annex because now it's on the battlefield, and it is no fun for anyone. And I believe this makes every card you force
It's
spike every card.
it's
Force spike everything.
Force Spike Lord, and it's Lord of Force Spike, and then you get a invisible seal of Force Spike if this is in your opening hand.
Nice. That's nice. That is nice. All right, so there's the Chancellor. That's on the battlefield now. And it's actually a pretty large creature.
Yeah, this is big.
5/6, yeah.
And Force Spike Force Spike Lord is not trivial for Storm to play through.
No, Force Spike Lord's actually pretty. They have difficulty with Thalia.
Right.
This is Super Thalia. Here's Unmask. And Unmask is free. And Del Rey actually just drew an Echoing Truth, and we know that Devin has another copy of Stronghold Gambit. So if the Echoing Truth is Force Spike Lord, just put it back on the battlefield.
Yep.
Boom.
Boom. What a game.
Del Rey is in some serious trouble here, folks. Okay.
If a player does not cast a spell or put a card into play on his or her turn, all right, good incentive so far.
Okay.
No creatures may attack that player until after his or next turn. So if I don't play anything, you can't attack me. And it's symmetrical. This is an all-time, I see. The more that I go through this, the more I'm like, I don't actually know if Chancellor of the Annex makes the top 10. There's so much competition. People don't even know about these cards.
I've never seen that card before.
Yeah, this is the type of card where it's like no one could have played a game with it before it going to print, because one game with this is like, okay, never mind. There's so many. If you go to the old sets, there's so many cards like this. If you don't play anything, the other player can't attack. Okay, so how does the game proceed? It doesn't. So one person puts a Borio down on the battlefield, and everyone just picks up their cards and goes plays Xbox, because there's no game left to play. There's so much The top 10 is so stiff.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for that. That article it's waiting to be printed.
Yeah.
Hot off the presses. I'll contact it. Danny West will copy edit it. It'll be up in a flash. In for 5. There you go.
Yeah, this one's pretty bad. This is pretty bad.
Can't read the text
Yeah.
on Charizard.
Basically, you get to play a sub-game, and the winner of the sub-game, you go back to the regular game with half health. The issue with this design, among other logistical issues, is that instead of playing a sub-game and then returning to the first game, we can just not play with this card and play 2 games.
It's true.
It's like it's a failure to understand that is... Like, often when we sit down and play Magic for a little while, we play more than one game. We don't need to go into a variety of subsets of games to determine the winner of the original one.
That's early in design of the game.
Yeah.
Arabian Nights?
Arabian Nights.
Okay. Perfect.
But I also appreciate trying to explore, it's early on. You're just trying to explore concepts.
You're exploring various design space.
Yeah. That design in Arabian Nights is more forgivable than Bridge from Below in Future Sight.
That's a rough design.
So, there you go.
Fun, though.
It's fun.
That's an Echoing Truth.
And now let's see, can Canfield go? Shields are down. Adzana doesn't really interact at all on... To the extent that Adzana interacts, it's not really on Canfield's turn.
Well, is there another Stronghold Gambit here? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Force Spike Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, what's this? It's a Lion's Eye Diamond. That's a good try. That's going to stay in your hand.
Force Spike King, like Goblin King in Alpha, but
yeah,
exact
same thing.
For Mana Tithes.
Yes.
Mana Tithe King.
It's got a nice ring to it. Mana Tithe King.
This game has taken an astounding number of turns.
for what these decks do? Yeah. A couple Lion's Eye Diamonds. Pay 1 for each of them. Nice. Okay. Put you to 1. I kind of like this Black-Red Reanimator deck.
I love it. It is so charming to me.
Dark Ritual.
Looks like Canfield's head's a dead end. I think
Yeah.
he's just on mana.
Oh, that's going to take care of that. Devin Ozana going to win this match over Delray Canfield. Black-Red Reanimator taking care of Storm. That was fun.
Yeah.
And now we get ready for our next match. I think we'll be going to where do you want to go? You want to go to Modern or Standard? What are you feeling right now?
Standard.
You want to go Standard?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Standard. Let's go to Standard. Let's watch a little mono green aggro. See if Vinemare gives some beats again, maybe.
Squaring off against black-red removal spells.
That's correct.
And creatures of varying costs.
This could be lovely. All right, well, the red side of things is looking fairly good, as I see an Exerted, Glorybringer, a Hazoret, a Chain Whirler, a Thopter, and a PNLR, along with a bunch of lands and at least one card in hand for Thomas Berry. For Brandon Dempsey, Thrashy Bee, Aethersphere Harvester, an Elf token, likely from a Thorn Lieutenant, and a couple of lands.
Dempsey's combination of a lack of lands and cards is a little surprising. Like, where, I guess it's got a pretty big graveyard, I guess. That explains it.
Yeah, it appears as though red has killed many of Brandon Dempsey's things. Our middle match between Dylan Hovey and Justin Bova has ended. Grixis Death Shadow taking care of Burn in 2 quick games. So it all comes down to this, as it oftentimes does in our Team Constructed Opens. And it didn't come down to much. Thomas Berry going to win this game and match for his team. Red-Black Aggro going to take care of Mono-Green Aggro. And that means a team of Delray Canfield, Dylan Hovey, and Thomas Berry, Storm, Grixis Death Shadow, and